had it with them. And I think this House should very firmly tonight vote in favour of the motion for military action against Israel. And if it passes, we will be going for a full formal declaration of war against them. And yeah, we are going to end the terrible regime of the Israeli government that has plagued UNV for so long, UNV being the name of our United Nations. And may I remind everyone right now, this is not simply us trying to warmonger, this isn't us trying to do it for the sake of it. This is something that has built up over time. And I don't think it would be appropriate at all to let this one slide. I have tried time and time again to be diplomatic with every single nation, and that includes Israel. And if they really feel like they can get away with sending a Mossad agent through the government, and over time, I will say right now, Tarzan, who's now been removed as an MP, I deeply apologise to the House for hiring him at all. That man, he was a known member of BUK when I first hired him into the government, and he worked in the press, he worked his way through the government, he worked as a minister, and then worked his way up. And then I find out that so there's during a point after he's been hired, probably a good few weeks after it, I'm assuming, it turns out he's been part of Mossad. And it is a deep, deep regret of mine that he was ever hired, and I apologise profusely to this House. So how can we make amends for it? Bomb the hell out of them. Please vote aye.
Can I take member sketchbook, please?
Thank you.
And you'll take your point of order after, member.
This matter is one of grave importance to national security. How did that man, the head of Mossad, infiltrate our government at such a
Here.
This is a complete disgrace.
Yeah.
Display of gross incompetence and mismanagement from our Prime Minister. Is the Prime Minister himself compromised? Is this why he bowed down to Israel and recognized Jerusalem?
Here, here.
Yeah.
Any background checks on any level to ensure he is not a risk to our national security. The British public deserve answers. How was this allowed to take place at such a high level of government? The Prime Minister must stand before this House not with excuses but with resignations, starting with his own if he cannot explain this utter failure of state security, and provide undeniable proof that he himself is not compromised by the state of Israel.
Thank you, member. Prime Minister, please.
Mr. Speaker, how frankly...
Oh, sorry, no, hold on. I did say we'd take Captain Predmore's point of order first, and then we'll get to you, Prime Minister. I'm very sorry. Member on the front bench, take your sunglasses off. This might be an emergency sitting, but this is still a sitting nonetheless. Prime Minister, please, to make your point.
Mr. Speaker, I don't know why he's trying to insinuate that I'm compromised by Israel when I'm trying to declare war on them. Mr. Speaker, no, I will not give way, since that is a completely stupid and ridiculous accusation. Okay? Now, how does a man like that make it into the government? It's because, evidently, I'm guessing he joined Mossad, I'm imagining, some in-between point after working his way through government. When he first joined, he seemed completely fine, he looked completely clear, and whilst it was a failure of national security that a man like that made it in, I'll make this very clear, there was a little way to indicate that he was part of Israel. Now we look at it, Israel has... Well, I've never personally been in the Israel server, but looking at their affiliated groups, they have no affiliated groups, so there's no way to see if he's ranked Mossad in any of them. There's no way to have really gouged fact without doing a fresh check. So what do we have to learn from this? Well, I think all government ministers and even MPs, sorry guys, you're about... Well, no, not sorry, because that was actually really bad that Tarzan got hired. But everyone will now be subject to fresh background checks, and honestly... I think it's best that we try and implement a scheme where it is made regular. Okay? I'll make it very clear that this was a complete and utter mess on the part of the government, the fact that Tarzan made it to where he was. I apologise for that. But what I will not take is the opposition trying to insinuate that I'm an agent of Israel. So how about we declare war on them instead and get on with it? No, I'm not giving way because I'm not an agent of Israel. That is an incredibly stupid accusation. Mr. Speaker, when I was in opposition at the time that man tried to warmonger against North Korea, I didn't come up here and say he was an agent of the North, did I? Because that's incredibly stupid, isn't it? So...
You did.
But I didn't say he was an agent of theirs, did I?
You
On
did.
the opposition
No, I
benches,
didn't.
be quiet. Let the Prime Minister speak.
Mr. Speaker, it's completely. I don't know why my jumping's going like that. Can someone fix it? This is actually pretty fun. But Mr. Speaker, I didn't say he was an agent of North Korea. All I said was that he warmongered. Okay, so I don't know why they're trying to say that. But listen, look, we just got to vote to go to war with Israel. We've got to get this done, and I'm pretty sure, just to make it clear, I'm pretty sure everyone internationally is really, really gonna like us when we do this, because no one likes Israel. They have been a terrible member of the UN. They have been terrible to all of us. And in regards to our recognition of Jerusalem as their capital, that was this government actively trying to still, despite offences caused to this government, in our post where we recognised Jerusalem as Israel's capital, that was in a post where we said, you've been incredibly rude, and we're only adhering to one of your demands, that's recognising Jerusalem as a capital, simply because it was a sign of goodwill that whilst we condemn their actions completely for being rude to everyone, we are fine to rekindle, because it was at a time where they moved Prime Minister again, where the cabinet removed theirs again after he did such inappropriate actions. So, the UN's sick of Israel. We're sick of Israel. Frankly, I can't think of someone apart from Israel who isn't sick of Israel. So yeah, vote aye. And no, I'm not an agent of theirs. And we're going to pursue regular background checks on every single government MP to make sure this never happens again.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Member Sketchbook, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It was a failure of national security. It is already standard practice in our party to check the groups of the people who get into high offices within our shadow cabinet and cabinet when we were in government. How that is not the case in the SDP is a mystery to me, Mr. Speaker. The Prime Minister allowed himself to get bullied by Israel 2 weeks ago into accepting Jerusalem as the capital, when in fact all of their government is stationed in Tel Aviv. It is a Zionist ideological stance to view Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. The Prime Minister adheres to this view. It is not far-fetched out of the picture for the man who allowed the head of Mossad into our Foreign Office, into our Home Department, to be compromised by Israel when he himself prescribes to part of their ideology. He allowed himself to be bullied by the government of Israel, and he himself has allowed agents of the state of Israel to infiltrate our government.
Thank you,
Could someone
Member.
fix my jump?
I'll fix your jump. Hold on. Hold on before we carry on. Is it like 10? Try jumping now.
Yeah, that's fine. Mr. Speaker,
No, I didn't call you.
can I get called, please?
No.
No.
Member Arthur T. Farrington at the back,
Not
please.
this guy.
Members on the opposition benches will refrain from those comments. Thank you.
That's why he's not Prime Minister. Anyway, I was in a meeting with my constituent Brenda, who was very concerned about potholes when I got called about this meeting by number 10. I got here as quick as I could. Anyway, it's imperative that we defend ourselves as a nation. It comes as a concern to us as a nation. If Israel pose a national security threat to this nation, I know she's not very happy. If Israel posed a national security threat to this nation, we must do something about it. We can't just sit here and let ourselves get attacked. We have to take military action on this matter. What's also important is the safety of the nation, Rip. We cannot let this undermine a great nation. So please vote aye, unless we want Israel to attack us. We need nations on our side so we can fight this war and get Israel out of the United Nations.
Thank you, Member at the back. Can I take Member Pro Player as well, please?
Thank you. It is time for a crusade! It's time to bomb them and destroy them! Assemble the army! I the motion! Ave! Thank you.
Thank you for your lovely thing to that. And I will take the opposition member, Henry Wiggle, to respond to that.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is a disgrace. This man the former Home Secretary and Foreign Secretary, was allowed in our government into the most senior and influential positions. He had no political experience in this group in any roles as far as I'm aware. I can correct the record if I'm wrong. I don't study every member. He had never served as a politician within this group. Never before he was appointed to your cabinet. We know, based off his parliamentary records and how he showed up and how he acted in parliament, that he was
Can the
over
member Gladiate
clueless.
block please shut up?
Why was this man allowed to stay in his positions for so long? Why wasn't he removed earlier? The opposition, for many sittings now, have criticised the former Foreign Secretary. The opposition have always brought up, well, he's underqualified and not ready to serve in government. So why was he there? And I'm going to be honest, is it a surprise that he ended up to be against us, really? It was very almost obvious. Thanks.
Thank you. I'll take the Prime Minister first, please.
Mr. Speaker, it's crazy that I explain everything to them and then they ask the exact same thing that I've already answered. He made his way in because he worked his way up the government. He'd been a member of the media and he worked his way up. There was no indication when we first checked him that he was a member of Israel. Even now, I was just looking through just to make sure that I hadn't missed something. He's not even a member of the Israeli group as far as I've seen. Let me just double check that again one more time. He's not got a rank in the Israeli group. So I don't see how we're supposed to recognise from a background check that was
Member
I
at the
won't
back,
give in.
take that off now.
You can be beheaded for wearing a suit of armour in Parliament. Cool.
Mr. Speaker, the fact that they come here and they say there's no right or wrong with them lot. There's no one option or the other. It's they come here and they say, why don't you pursue diplomacy with people? Well, I'll do that. I'll say to Israel, well, you've been completely rude and horrible to us, and we're going to recognise that, and we're not going to reach out to you diplomatically. All we're going to do is recognise Jerusalem as a sign of goodwill that in future, if you swap your prime minister, which they did, they will reach out to you. And then I don't see how being bullied by Israel, I don't see how recognising Jerusalem whilst also condemning them is a attempt at us being bullied into a corner by Israel. If this is the government that's being bullied by Israel, I have no idea why we're going to war with them then. That makes no sense. It's just common sense. This is them trying to leech onto something that they've already been addressed as to why it's occurred, and they're just leeching off it for political points. It's completely pathetic. I know they're going to vote in favour of this, despite the fact that they're here right now trying to argue against it, and there is no other word than just pathetic. What happened with the former Foreign Secretary is that we background checked him, no red flags, okay? He works his way up, he looks okay, and then all of a sudden, he's a Mossad agent apparently. But he isn't even in the Israeli group. So clearly they've kept this well under wraps. But we will just have to do more regular background checks in future. I don't know where he's got the indication from that we don't do background checks altogether. That's absolutely crazy. But there we go. Okay? Trying to say that I'm a Mossad agent and that we've been bullied by Israel just because we did one act of goodwill for them is absolutely insane. Okay? It is pathetic, it is grasping at straws, and they should be ashamed if that's what they're going to compare this government to. Because if they aren't willing to at least do anything diplomatic before we reach something like this, before we reach a situation where we are now, then that's just a confirmation that if they were in our place right now, they would be warmongering with everyone over every little issue. I can imagine they would have gone to war with the attitude they have right now over us showing any signs of goodwill. They likely probably would have gone to war with Kazakhstan, Russia, and
The member at the back,
communist
stop moving as well.
and communist China, all because of their implications that Arthur got shot in China, or the Duke of Cambridge got shot in China when he didn't. When instead we just cut ties with them. We didn't go straight into it, we cut ties with them. The implications that were being given here from the responses they've given to what I said is completely crazy and profound. And there's a reason that they're not in government. There's a reason that man is no longer in charge of our foreign affairs. And there's a reason that despite all of this, I don't think they'll ever make it back into government. So, no, I'm not an Israeli spy. Yes, I tried diplomacy. And yes, there was a mistake with the hiring of Foreign Secretary.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Member Sketchbook, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You just said earlier you didn't do proper background checks, and now you're telling me that you were doing background checks.
I never said I
Make
didn't
your
do
mind
proper
up. You called
background
us
check.
pathetic for pointing out your
I
failures.
never
It is
said I
our
didn't do a
job
proper
to point
background
out our
check.
failures. Mr. Speaker, Mr.
I
Speaker.
never said that. Point of order. Point of order.
Point of order.
I've
Point
spoken.
of
Hold
order.
on. Point of order, please, from the
Yeah,
Prime
shave it,
Minister.
Like what?
I,
Member
Mr.
Henry Wiggle!
Mr.
Sorry.
Speaker, I
Third
never,
and final warning already. I'm not having that language in this house at this time.
Mr.
Prime
Speaker,
Minister.
never did I say we don't do proper background checks. I said that we need to do more of them more regularly. The member has inadvertently misled the House and is seeking advice on this matter.
I will ask the member to withdraw.
Mr. Speaker, I do recall him saying he had not
I'll
properly
withdraw.
background checked the foreign
We
secretary,
recall wrong.
which is evident. I don't believe I've misled the House, but if it is going to be such an issue, I will withdraw out of courtesy to the chair. Now, Mr. Speaker,
Can the
It would-
member at the back please sit down?
it would be very helpful
Thank you.
to the government if they hadn't paralysed MI6 by injunctioning them from preventing them from doing all of their duties as they did not adhere to the Intelligence Acts, which were passed following 1994.
When did we? Point of order. We never did that.
What was
There's
that,
an
Prime Minister?
injunction.
He just said that we injunctioned MI6. We never did that.
Yes,
I
you did.
cannot recall ever injunctioning MI6 during my time in government.
Okay, thank you, Prime Minister. Just carry on with your statement, please.
So, Mr. Speaker, it'd be rather great if the government hadn't paralysed our intelligence services. Then he may have known that the Foreign Secretary was in fact a member of Israel before he admitted to it in public. Now, Mr. Speaker, this is a gross incompetence from the government, and we expect resignations as this is a complete and utter failure of our intelligence system and a massive threat to our national security that you have been allowed to vet foreign secretaries for the entire period of around 70 days you've been Prime Minister.
Thank you, Member Sketchbook. Member Joseph Rifles, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Shadow Foreign... You know what? I'm going to do something I rarely do, and I'm going to agree with the Shadow Foreign Secretary. I know. I know. Crazy, right? I'm going to agree with the Shadow Foreign Secretary in the aspect that yes, this was an intelligence failure. Yes, this does need to be addressed so this does not happen again. However, Mr. Speaker, what I do not appreciate is the Shadow Foreign Secretary milking the situation for political gain rather than deciding to be part of the solution. This debate before this House right now is not on whether there was an intelligence failure, whether the government needs to change its ways, whether the government needs to do X, Y, and Z regarding the future of vetting and appointing members of the cabinet. This debate is on protecting our national security. This debate is on defending our liberties. And I will give way to my honorable friend.
Can the spectators stop shouting out? Thank you very much. I will have you taken out if you carry on.
How fantastic. I said my entire point while muted. Anyway, I thank my right honourable friend for giving way, and I agree that on his point about the opposition taking this for political gain. Does he agree with me?
Give way.
You can't give way.
You can't give way.
Can't give way on a giveaway.
3 people told him then. Does he agree with me that if they were in power, they'd be behaving the same now?
You know, Mr. Speaker, I would agree with my honorable friend. I do feel that if the opposition were in the same shoes that this government was, we know they would revert to their warmongering ways, and they would revert to their warmongering ways. And as the Prime Minister so eloquently said earlier, they would immediately jump to war with throwing diplomacy completely out the window. This government did not throw diplomacy out this window. This government put diplomacy first, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah.
And I will give way to my right honorable friend. The Shadow Justice Secretary.
Never. Oh, sorry.
Thank you, Mr. What's his title? Mr. Chancellor. Thank you. Does the Chancellor agree that recognizing Jerusalem is the biggest thing you can do in support of an Israel group? And also the opposition, we never mentioned any diplomacy, so I don't know why you guys are talking about it, but yeah.
Here.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would thank my right honorable friend for his interjection there. I would say to him, it is not my job. I am not His Majesty's Secretary of State for Foreign, Commonwealth, and Development Affairs. It is not my place to comment on this government's foreign policy. However, as I said earlier, I do not appreciate the opposition coming to this emergency debate, knowing full well that we, as the members of Parliament, as the elected legislature of the United Kingdom, we are the ones who bear the responsibility of making sure our island stays protected. That is what this debate is about. This debate is making sure we stay protected. This debate is about ensuring support for the government in defending our country against not just Israel, but all adversaries.
Yeah.
And with that, I would commend the motion to the House, and I would sincerely hope that this motion do pass unanimously, but you can just never be too sure.
Yeah.
Thank you. I will call member Lavinquest, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I mean, why are we here even wondering why we have come to this preposterous position where our foreign secretary, who was also the home secretary, came to be a Mossad spy? I mean, Mr. Speaker, he has both been in charge of the NCA and the MI6 indirectly through his secretary position.
Point of order, please.
Point of order on relevance, Mr. Speaker. As I just stated, this debate is not on the former foreign secretary and the former home secretary being an adversary. This debate is on the motion on whether this House supports the government's decision to take military action against the state of Israel.
I also
Mr.
have a point of
Speaker,
I do agree with the member. If you're going to keep
Mr.
talking
Speaker,
about
it will
I
get
have a point of
relevant
order.
when I get to
Very
it.
relevant point of order.
don't get there. Just do it now. I don't want to
I
hear
have a
any
very
more about
strong-
the ex. Sit down. We'll get to you later. I don't want to hear any more about the former foreign secretary. I'd like to hear more about this debate, please. That's it.
Mr. Speaker, if I may, it's a really important point that we're going to war because our former secretary is a Mossad agent. That's why we're going to war. So I believe
Point of order.
including
order,
him
please,
in our
Prime
debate,
Minister.
Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, he's inadvertently misled the House. We're not just going to war because he was a Mossad spy. This is a build-up of multiple events over the past few weeks, including reading off the motion right now so I don't get my points wrong. Acts of espionage, high treason, hostile operations against the United Kingdom and its allies. And, against its allies also, and also its unbecoming nature in international affairs and how many nations altogether. It has been a massive unbecoming nation too, to put it in a light term. Also, Mr. Speaker, to add to my point of order, the point about the former foreign secretary has been raised multiple times and has been addressed multiple times by the government, and I believe that it is a complete waste of time to keep bringing it up when it has already been answered so many times by multiple members of the government benches. So I seek your advice in this matter.
I will ask. Well, I cannot ask the member to withdraw, as he did state that it was about it, and you did say that it is in some capacity the reason why we're at war. And so I cannot tell him to withdraw. I can only say that the member be careful, as clearly it is not the only reason, as the member stated. There are a multitude of reasons, so just be careful in your further phrasing. Carry on, member Lavinquest.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me back the opportunity to speak. Okay, Mr. Speaker, we have had the former the current Mossad agent lead be in charge of both the MI6 and the NCA. He even trying to shut the NCA down.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, are we ready for war? That's what I'm asking here. Are we ready for war? We've been wanting to shut down our intelligence agencies. We've had the whole issue with MI6 and the foreign secretary who was in charge of MI6 through his powers as the Secretary of State for Foreign Affairs could dismiss the chief of MI6 at any time. Mr. Speaker, are we prepared to go to war with our intelligence agencies failing, with our BAF just having been given a new chief of defense staff? Mr. Speaker, I do not believe we're ready yet. Mr. Speaker, I do agree that Israel's actions are not acceptable, but however, it's a failure.
Where do you lie on this?
Prime Minister, watch your tone.
Mr. Speaker, it's a failure of the Prime Minister that we even got here in the first place. He may be rambling about how if the opposition was in government, if the opposition was in government, we would go to war with Israel on our first notice and go to war with China. However, Mr. Speaker, this is not the point, and this is irrelevant, even though it's complete lies. So I urge the Prime Minister to resign in shame for allowing such stuff, and I give way to the leader of the opposition.
Crimea River.
Hold
Point
on,
of order, Mr. Speaker.
before we give way, point of order, please, from Joseph Rifles.
Again, on relevance, Mr. Speaker, you just addressed this, that the debate is to be about
I had a
the
point of
motion
order
at
for you.
hand. And members of the opposition continually make points of debate, not the motion at hand. Again, I'd seek your advice.
Joseph, your Wi-Fi just caved in
Point of
again.
order.
Yeah, I did not understand a word
Oh,
you said there about your point.
Sorry.
I have.
can
No, hold
can
on.
restate.
I get the gist of what you said. I
Right.
do understand about the opposition bringing up
Point of
the
order.
former. No, I'm still speaking, man. Come on.
Yeah,
Have some decorum.
You let him go before me, and I point of order first.
Have some decorum. I'll stand up then. I do agree that the opposition should cease talking about the former foreign secretary, but some ties of what they're saying do actually link into the war. So I'm going to allow it. But I would like if the opposition would heed my warning, if some say, to be sit down. Americans. I would heed your my warning that you be careful of what you're saying now. I do not wish to hear any more really about the former foreign secretary. Thank you. And I will take the prime. Yes, I will take your point of order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The triggering reason why we're here today, and we got a war with Israel, is because of the former foreign secretary being a Mossad agent. It's the key point of debate right now. It's the key topic. So why are you barring us from talking about it when it's the main reason we are here today? We've already discussed all the other reasons why we're here when they happened a week ago, like the Jerusalem debacle thingy. So why are you barring us from doing our job as the opposition?
I'm not barring you from doing your job as the opposition. I am limiting you as to what you're saying about the foreign secretary, as the things you have been saying so far don't really concern the war. You're not really talking. I think that the member just before you talked about the army size, which is a valid point. But the earlier points you lot were making were mainly on how the government was a disgrace, and that is in quotations. That they've hired such a person. I would like to hear less of that and actually get on to the war topic. Yes, you may make references. You may make references to the foreign secretary, former foreign secretary, but I do not want the entire debate to be on what he has done and how the government can improve on that. Thank you.
Point of order. I promise this will be my last one.
Point of order from Brunicore. He's actually been getting up quite a lot.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just have a question for the Prime Minister in relation to the handling of this crisis. Now,
Stuart's point of debate rhetorical.
Yeah,
because you can't open this point of order.
I just want to clarify: is going to war absolutely necessary? I mean, the actions of Israel.
Is this a point of order?
Debate. What you do?
Is this a point of order?
No, I never said point of order. I just stood up.
All right, that was point of order.
Oh, right. Sit down then.
Bruh.
So when I said point of order from you, you took it as, oh yeah, I'll speak anyway.
I do promise this will be my last one, Mr. Speaker.
I will take Member Arthur T. Farrington at the back.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I might actually unmute at this time. Let's check. Yes, I am. Mr. Speaker, we could be here for hours. Not even hours, for
I hope not.
Over an hour. So can I seek your advice on the implementation of the standing order that limits limits speeches to 2 minutes?
There was a motion to vote, and it did get a second.
Still got debate.
Oh, I didn't actually see that.
It's a giveaway.
Still got debate.
There was a motion like a good while ago. It doesn't matter.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Is he going to respond to mine first, or?
Hold on, man. My God. I do not believe that the House's time has been wasted so far on the implementation of time speeches. The points of debate that have been made so far have been generally under a minute. It's just the amount of things that have been said. That's what's really dragged us on. And it's only been 25 minutes so far. So that's my advice on that.
Second the motion.
The motion has...
Oh,
the
never
motion
mind.
has been seconded, but before we do that, if the member Asano Sakana has a point of debate, I'd like to hear one last opposition and then we'll go to the motion, if that pleases the House. Member Asano, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As leader of His Majesty's most loyal opposition, it is my solemn duty not only to hold the government to account, but to help safeguard the very foundations of our nation. That means defending our national security, ensuring a stable and just society, and upholding the integrity of our democratic institutions. It also means that every one of us in this House must remain true to the oath we swore to His Majesty the King. Today, those foundations have been shaken, not by a single error, but by a pattern of neglect, deception, and failure.
Is this a point of debate, or is this a little
Yes,
state?
this is a government that sought to undermine our intelligence services, a government
Well,
that has now
keep it
presided
short,
over the
please,
most
member.
shocking breach of national security in living memory. The infiltration of our institutions by foreign intelligence agencies reaching right into the heart of government. It raises the most serious questions about who holds influence over the operations of our state. Given the increasingly close proximity between political leadership and public servants, the public is right to ask just how deeply have hostile actors, such as Israel, embedded themselves in our security apparatus. Let us remember the words of Winston Churchill: the price of greatness is responsibility. And this government, Mr. Speaker, has abdicated that responsibility at every turn. And now, with credible reports that a Mossad agent has reached the highest levels of British power, the question is no longer whether this government has failed. The question is whether it governs at all. This is not just failure, it is a dereliction of duty so grave that it endangers the sovereignty, the security, and the soul of our nation. Therefore, in the national interest, I say this. If the Prime Minister resigns today, His Majesty's opposition will not bring forward a motion of no confidence, but if he refuses to do the honourable thing, then let there be no mistake. This House will act. I give way to Sketch.
Thank you.
Pathetic.
Mr. Speaker, we want war with Israel.
Prime Minister, I heard that. Prime Minister, I heard
withdraw out
that.
respect for the
I
chair.
don't care if you withdraw it. That's your first warning.
Mr. Speaker, we want war with Israel. We do not want to be led by a man compromised by the enemy. Sakani.
Mr. Speaker,
Get
it
it
Member
was,
Asano, it's a giveaway.
Thank you.
my giveaway, Mr. Speaker.
I motion to vote all.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Seconded.
Point of order.
No point of order. I did
Mr.
say
Speaker,
that
it was my giveaway.
What?
I give way to the.
What? It
leader
was
of
not.
opposition.
What do you mean?
What
it
are you
wasn't?
talking about?
What are you on about?
What?
Sit
Mr. Speaker,
down.
Mr. Speaker, before the
Sit down,
point of
Marvin,
orders.
Marvin.
What are you on about?
No,
Before-
I called Member Asano up to take his point. He then gave way to Sketchbook, and he's taken it back, and now he's stopped his point. This is
Mr.
not on
Speaker,
your give. No, do not argue
Marvin,
with me. This is not on your give way. This isn't on your give way, member.
What are you on about?
Just
Not
Bobby.
his first and
The motion to
third.
vote.
I gave way to the leader of the.
You didn't give way to him.
The leader of the
He was
opposition
trolled.
did not take that giveaway. And then when we came off the point of order from a member at the back, I said, "Do we have any more points?" Then you all said point of order, and then a member Asano stood up for a point of debate, so I took his point of debate. Then he gave it to Sketch, then he gave it back to himself. I've clarified to the House. I will take one more point of order before we vote, and that will be from Henry Wiggle, please. And that's the last I will hear of it. Oh, well, I'm not taking any more points of debate. It's quite late. So if does anybody have a point of order?
Nope.
I actually do, Mr. Speaker.
Oh my.
No.
Make it like very short. I'm actually going to put a timer on you for this, so
Okay,
make it
thank
very
you.
short.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker. A few moments ago, when the Shadow Foreign Secretary was making a point of debate, he said that a state of war exists between the United Kingdom and the State of Israel, and he has inadvertently
I
misled
said
the
he
House.
wants war with Israel.
No. Before that, like a while ago, he said that we are at war with the State of Israel. He inadvertently misled the House.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
No, I
I
didn't.
will. Well, I didn't hear the member, therefore I cannot ask him to withdraw, unless the member did say that and he would like to own up to it and withdraw out of respect to myself.
I never said it, but if I did, I'm sorry and I withdraw it.
Okay, thank you very much, member. I will hear no more points of debate, and I will say the question is that this motion is passed. As many of that opinion say aye. On the contrary, no.
I
This is the motion for Israel to go to war, by the way. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. Motion is passed. That is the final bit on the order paper. So I will say order, order. Call
Roger,
this
we'll
house
enjoy
to
your
order.
resignation
This
by
house
tomorrow,
is
thank you.
now adjourned.
That's not how you do it, but okay.
Yeah, we did.
Excuse me, Wadger
Right,
Badger.
okay,
Excuse
yeah.
me, Wadger Badger. You've
Yeah.
put me into a difficult point now because I've actually got to go and fight people.
War!
Look what you've done.
Very good. Right, I'm gonna
Speaker's going to
join.
die
I'm
and
gonna
it's all
join
your
the armed
fault.
forces as a private right now. I'm gonna see if I can get in because I really want to go fight Israel.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
pal.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Time
Goodbye.
for war.